day to you, one and all. It is I, Justin Hawkins, and this is Justin Hawkins Rides Again. Today I'm beaming to you direct from North America, to be specific, the City of Angels, or the Big Angel, Los Angeles in California. That's in America, so exciting stuff. Today I'm talking about a band that I've already covered once. Last time I spoke of King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. I was basically just confused by it, but as I'm sure some of you have noticed, my theory knowledge and my ability to analyse these more complicated structures and stuff has improved tenfold since then, and I'm really excited to cover a new song from those guys called Gila Monster. Came out on the 16th of May. Yeah, that's all I have to say about it so far. I'll listen to it and you can regard my reaction in real time. Justin Hawkins rides again. So, I'll just put this guitar here for a second. Just pop it on the side there. Yeah, this is what happens when you become super buff and your shirt doesn't. Something has to give. Anyway, King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard are an Australian band, and as I said before, I've covered them once and found it all a bit confusing. They are known for exploring multiple genres, staging energetic live shows and building a prolific discography, having released 23 studio albums, 15 live albums, 5 compilations, 3 EPs and a remix album. I mean, that is a ridiculous output. In a 2019 study conducted by the Institute of Contemporary Music Performance, King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard was ranked number 21 in a list of the world's hardest working musicians. You have to admire that, don't you? Their 24th studio album, Petrodragonic Apocalypse, or Dawn of Eternal Night, an annihilation of planet Earth and the beginning of merciless damnation, is out on the 16th of June. The band said it's an extension of the thrash sound that they explored on 2019's Infest the Rat's Nest. The reality of King Gizzard and Lizard Wizard, for me, is that it's kind of like contra to a lot of what I enjoy in rock in general. Like, the thing about rock is it teases you, it makes you feel like you're going to experience a change musically or arrangement wise, and you sort of sense it coming, and then it hits you and it's like, that's exactly what I was hoping would happen. And I think King Gizzard does the opposite of that, like deliberately. Maybe that's actually one of the sort of defining characteristics of progressive music in general. It's like it doesn't do what you expect it to do, and that's actually the whole point. But I'm looking forward to listening to this, because one thing you can't deny is the musicianship is extraordinary. Let's have a look. Again. Straight out the gates. Hang on a sec. Okay. They're doing that thing when they're sort of palm muting. They're playing a B. But I imagine that the palm muting is happening on an extra string on the guitar, which would be tuned to a B underneath the E. So that's either a 7 string or maybe even an 8 string. Something like that, right? Maybe it's going. But I think the passing note is either not there or subtle, and maybe just my mind is painting that in. My mind's got a tendency to paint notes in. Have you noticed? I love it when progressive rock has that sort of Eastern influence in the solos and the sort of scales that they operate in. That's a really satisfying element of it. And you can't beat a bloke standing on a mountain. I've said this before. With a horse. Sort of Jedi Knight in retirement robage going on there with a little bit of a hood action and a really intense expression on his face. I mean, I can't really hear what he's saying, but he's saying with such intensity that I'm inclined to believe whatever it happens to be that he's saying. And I'm noticing here that Alex O. Smith is the DOP, according to the description underneath the video. And Alex Smith is the guy that did all the Darkness videos on the first record. I wonder if it's the same person. I know he moved to Australia. It could be. So everything's operating in this B. In the B area. Now, if I were to anticipate a change, I'm going to suggest it's going to go to E. Because that's what AC/DC would do, and they always know. AC/DC always knows. That's what I would do. Let's see. No, stays in the B. So this is another example of King Gizzard doing what the last thing that I would expect. Standing around a cauldron trying to summon some kind of... are they trying to summon the monster, or are they trying to sort of, I don't know, curse it somehow? I just don't know. I just don't know what they're doing. I mean, I haven't had a good amount of experience in summoning or banishing monsters using cauldron chanting, but they know best. Ah, wait. Yeah, it went to the E. Didn't stay there long. Went to a D. I think C. Something like that. I mean, that's the advantage of those wider necked guitars with the low B string. You can do some really cool sort of guttural stuff down there. I mean, people used to use baritone guitars. They looked pretty cool, but I don't know if that. I think it might have been a longer scale neck. Probably wouldn't sound as metal. But I reckon this is a 7 or 8 string guitar. You can imagine that kicking ass live, can't you? I mean, set in amongst their stuff with the interesting time signatures and so on, that's probably going to really be a nice relief for the front row and beyond. And everyone can sing along to it, and crucially they can dance to it too, which is obviously the most important consideration when it comes to creating this kind of rock. Glorious landscapery. Off he goes on his horse. There's no suggestion here that could be achieved with CGI. I think he's spent the time, learnt to ride with a hood on. I think the advantage of the hood is you can hide one of those sort of slightly unflattering horse riding helmets you're obliged to wear, so as to avoid serious cranial injury in the event of falling off and landing on a rock or something. Just put a hood up and then you still look really cool. Or just get a computer to animate it and make it look like you're riding it. But that's not what they did. No. This is a different singer. Somebody else is doing it. But I love the way when they're sort of praying and rocking in their seats and overcome with the spirit of whatever it is that they're, summoning or addressing in prayer. I always imagine Tom York to do that sometimes when he's sort of like thinking about lyrics, like a green plastic watering can. That's, I do that sometimes as well. It's comforting. It's the rocking motion, takes you back to to being, I suppose, to the cradle, really, which is, before our emotions and our thought processes are sullied, really, by our peers and parents. It's just nice to sort of channel something pure, and rocking in your chair, that's one of the easiest ways to achieve that. still can't understand a word he's saying, but I'm sure it's powerful stuff. Monster! I understood that bit. And now it's totally straightened up. Okay, here's the weird type signatures. I knew it was coming. It seems like it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, stick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, stick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2. So what is that then? 6.5 time? What are they doing to me? 13 time perhaps? Ooh, maybe that's significant.
Oh, desperation, what a mind killer. All hail King Gizzard.
Look at that monster! It's terrifying. And he's either summoned it or made it annoyed somehow using his guitar playing. So cool. Yeah, alright, that's awesome. Okay, well, I love this band. I think that, I mean, I don't always understand what they're doing. But at least I could admit it, right, guys? But this was another deceptive arrangement, because you just think, oh, it's in B, and then it goes to an E. That's just what you hope it's going to do. It's all trundling along in a sort of, I don't know, the guitar tones are very much like 70s metal, because they're more middly than you would expect from like later thrash and stuff, like when the sort of sonic profile of the guitar sound was always like bassy stuff, treble stuff scooped in the middle. Gives it that metal sort of fizz, really, and the powerful stuff that hits you in the chest. But this is a much more, I don't know, I suppose that there's a more middly EQ terms, just in the guitar tones. It's a really sort of retro metal riff, and then suddenly it just turns into 6.5 time, or whatever it was. I might have miscounted that. I mean, use the comment section below to tell me where I've gone wrong there. I would never pretend to understand what they're doing, but that doesn't mean I don't love it. Justin Hawkins writes again. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, watch one of these 2 videos, and the next few broadcasts are going to be from here in Los Angeles, the Big Angel. See you on the ice, and adieu.